As its nickname suggests, the Great Lakes state is surrounded by four of the five Great Lakes, with Lake Ontario being the only exception. Sprinkled along the state's 3,224 miles of shoreline stand 124 lighthouses, more than any other state. In Part 2 of Lighthouses of Michigan, we'll take a look at the most photographed lighthouse in the state, Holland Harbor Lighthouse, also known as Big Red. Holland lies along the banks of Lake Macatawa in Ottawa County. In 1847, Reverend Albertus van Raalte founded the community after leaving the Netherlands seeking religious freedom. Soon after forming the community, residents realized that connecting Lake Macatawa to Lake Michigan would be instrumental in the community's success. Though attempts were made to obtain government aid in clearing the channel of sandbars, the aid was not granted. The residents then took it upon themselves to clear the channel, creating the link between the Great Lake and Lake Macatawa. On July 15, 1870, Congress approved $6,000 for a beacon in Holland. Later that year, a light was established on the South Pier. An annual salary of $540, or about $13,000 today, was paid to the first keeper, Melgert van Regenmoorder. Unfortunately for Melgert, he had to find his own housing as difficulties in obtaining a title to the desired land to build the keeper's quarters delayed the construction until 1873. Consisting of a wooden tower painted white, the pierhead beacon had a fifth-order Fresnel lens that produced a fixed red light that could be seen by mariners up to 11.5 miles. In 1871, over 400 vessels cleared Holland carrying 34,861 tons of cargo that included 26,809 railroad ties, 17,998 pounds of butter, and 8,540 dozen eggs. By 1880, the lighthouse was moved 264 feet lakeward with the elevated walk extended to it. Over the course of the next few decades, various post lights were erected, with some being damaged by ships hitting them. A fog signal building was built in 1907 with an apartment for 2 assistant keepers on the second floor. During this time, 69-year-old Melgert van Regenmoorder decided to end his 37 years of service as keeper rather than learn how to operate the fog signal. In 1956, the yellow Holland Harbor Lighthouse was sandblasted and painted red, which led to its current nickname of Big Red. 14 years later, in 1970, the Coast Guard announced plans to abandon the lighthouse. This did not set well with the residents of Holland, who saw their beloved lighthouse as an important landmark. The Holland Harbor Lighthouse Historical Commission was then formed in 1974 to preserve and restore the structure. Over 30 years later, in 2007, the commission took over duties of the lighthouse after the Coast Guard deemed the lighthouse an excess in 2005. In 2022, Hallmark used Big Reds as a model for their holiday lighthouse ornament. Thanks for watching.